Hello everyone, welcome to this webinar by Wonderland. We are working on a project and on a Erasmus Plus project with 6 different partner countries. And we had a call for trainees from Austria and selected 4 candidates and sent them on digitally to Albania and Kosovo to learn how or to experiment with the idea combining circular economy with eco-design. And this webinar is the first in Austria, where we want to look into the practices we found in Austria, which are inspiring and hopefully useful for our candidates to embark their journey to be a circular economist or eco-designer. This first webinar, we are very happy to have with us Materialnomaden. Peter is going to explain us how they started the business and what's the core idea behind. My colleague Hannah Bright is leading the project, and she's going to also moderate digitally this session. Hannah, would you like to say a few words?
Yes, hello, I'm Hannah, and if anyone has any questions, you can reach out to me through the comments, and I'm going to share some links with you, which might be interesting for you, and also answer your questions.
Thank you very much. This session is going to be streamed on social media, and I would like to connect to Peter. Peter, where are you joining us?
Hey, I'm Peter from Materialnomaden. Welcome here in Vienna at our bowling center, our place where we work and where we do our studies and drawings and modelings and mock-up buildings is right here in the 10th district of Vienna, in a former Siemens area where Siemens built whatever engines and stuff. And we will be here in this temporary used area till the end of this year, and then we will switch to another place. But till now, since more or less 5 years, we established on this in our position in Vienna as pioneer. We established a circular economy within architecture and construction, on-site, off-site. We started as a small, very small kind of organization, a harvest map, where we tried to set up a platform based on the idea of Super Studios in Holland, in Rotterdam. They already work since more than 20 years on that project, trying to find a possibility to gather all materials and building parts that are supposed to be demolished, to gather them together on a platform, to offer them, and first step, to be able to use and present them for their own projects that we are working in. And it's also something like a red string through all the projects. At first, we have our sources, then we have stores or restore. Then we try to pop up with products, with building parts, with projects somewhere. Then out of this pop-up, there come bigger projects. Out of the pop-up, there are also workshops for prototyping, workshops for mock-ups, and so on. Then out of this, there come the projects, and it's always surrounded by the thinking in process, like this webinar, or already many hours with students on a technical university in Vienna or in Graz or St. Pölten New Design University. Then yeah, WU Wirtschaftsuniversität, like economic university here in Vienna. Since last week, we are also within a college here in Vienna, like HTL Camilo Sitte, where we took part in an action week, and students are very excited about not only our work, about the idea to implement reuse as a part of architecture, like as a part of the process from architecture, as a part of the process from building, and to implement it also in way bigger processes than small houses or small products that are designed. So I go forward from the sources. This, for example, one of the first sources we had is the OMV building. We took out very many parts from lamps, ceiling, this green thing underneath the roof. It was a kind of elevator to clean the glass roof. We took out these not suspension, Geländer.
Railings.
Railings, sorry. Windows, glasses, all the glasses from all windows we took out, aluminum parts that can be reused. Yeah, it was a project over 1.5 years. Then everything went, a lot of stuff went to the storage, and some parts we could already deliver directly from products. Many of these products are going into our map, and not only in the map. First, they come into our database, where we can produce catalogs, where we can, at the end, ideally, some items we already can directly generate BIM files to be implemented in a library, to be able to use them in the digital design process. And sources also in the layout from the restore, from the online restore. Before, you could see the map. So where does the part come from? Where do we, in that case, it was a Magdas in Siebenhirten, high-end kitchen for 30,000 meals a day or whatever, and then we were able to take part in this project as a consulting for reuse at one, and at the end also we implemented there many parts within a usual building process. So quite complex, the contracts very complex, also the the process itself is complex, like the building process, and it's quite a huge building. So, and it's a public building. So at the first we started with our kind of Friday challenge, where already some of the parts were here. Then we did the developing of the design together with the architects standing here. In our Kegelhalle, yeah, you can see how the product gets developed. We have this, let's say, ceiling part. Then we do in our workshop, we try to figure out what's the most extreme redesign you can do with that material, and at the end it comes a product, as well as with the bricks or wood or whatever metal, aluminium, steel, Nero, and concrete and natural stones. We experiment. Yeah, as you can say here, B-Ware Stahlplatten and oak. It was before it was a railing. Now we redesigned this material and we used it again as a railing, but much smarter in the material, the amount of material we used. Also, the steel plates were like second market steel plates. Here you can see the door framings. We reused like very thin metal, sold together again, welded together again, sorry, and used again is for these are how it's reused. Moment, you cannot see very well. Like lamps is 1-to-1. This on the right hand side is a mobile wall to separate one room into two, where you can on one side you can have a seminar, on the other side you can have a private discussion. So this was already built in another building, and we built it in there again with some small manipulations. Yeah, this is here. You can also see exhibition installation or exhibition architecture, where we have many parts that we reused and that they are built reusable. So it's not fixed in the wood, is not fixed in the steel frame. You can take it out, put it again together. There's no screw, no glue. It's fixed by itself. So this kind of connections, when you build again with reuse materials, of course the focus should be that it's reusable, or reusable again and again and again.
So the design makes it reusable. It's not the connections are not made permanently. They are stacked in each other probably, and the design makes it reusable all the time until it's broken.
It's a very that's as you say.
I loved the design showcases. They are wonderful. That's a wonderful idea.
It looks amazing. It has so much texture and richness. It's beautiful.
Yeah, for example, here on this picture, you can see that the process, there is a jalousie out of aluminium, and we invented some roof bricks 1 by 1 meter, and now out there we have 2 of them roofs standing there, easily to be removed and transported to another area and put on again. Aluminium is quite it's not very heavy on one hand, and on the other hand there's a lot of energy already in that product. So if you melt it again another time, energy, a less valued aluminium, and another footprint for the road kilometers, and so on and so on. And here we have our handcraft idea. We make frames out of reused wood, and we make the roof itself is to be deconstructed and reconstructed many times. So this is the way it goes. Yeah, this is glued on, but it's just beautiful. In one building we found tons of plans, like printed plans, and we made a carpet, or how do you say, wallpaper out of it. And this container is kind of 100% reuse. There is not a screw that is not reused in this container. I think this electric water heater is new, and this one for the
sanitizer.
Yeah, but all the other parts are reused.
Beautiful.
There we have from heating, from radiators, the coverage. The
Yeah.
coverage of the radiators, we found many of them, and we made a door for our workshop out of it. So
It's beautiful. It gives a lot of insight, and it's so unexpected, the texture, because it's not usual.
Yeah,
viable.
if you stand in front of it, you will never think about, this was a heat coverage. Yeah, these are Harry Glück designed this building up there. There's already standing a new building behind the Rathaus here in Vienna. And we own, these were for flowers, for indoor flowers. It were pots out of reinforced epoxide huts. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And we designed some chair thing and a cupboard system we designed out of it. So you can, this was the handrail. We did furniture for outdoor because it's oak, very beautiful. This is the floor we made. This is the doors you seen before, the door frames that we built, like a wall. It's in a office. So you have silent rooms or single working spaces behind these walls, and to the front you have this door optic. But these all reused doors, all reused door frames. The glass is new because it's a safety glass that we had to use. And also the coverage from the inside is reused. You can see the old doors here in the office building and here new. It's no trash design. You can see. It's
Totally,
it's about picking out the raisins, as I told before, and showing their
quality and beauty.
Yes, their beauty. So this is more Søren Nissen, re-beauty or beauty. For me, it's the wertschätzung, the respect for the materials, and the respect also for the work somebody from 20, 50, 70 years ago brought in to construct these things.
Mm-hmm.
This is for my as I'm an engineer, but
this is a very good point that you say that, because I was wondering what kind of profession do you need to have to work with Materialnomaden? What's your profession, or what's the team profession? What kind of people work with you?
All of us are used to work minimum transdisciplinary, better interdisciplinary, mm-hmm. and intradisciplinary. So though everybody has its own profession and its own kernel knowledge, it's very, very helpful and useful in that kind of process that you are able to switch the roles. As I have architects here working for Materialnomaden, we are 3 companies here. So Materialnomaden consists of 3 companies. Materialnomaden itself, the GmbH, and then there is Bauteiler. It's going to be a building company at the end of this year, because then I am Baumeister. So I lead this as well. And then we have the Harvest Map Genossenschaft,
which is a cooperative.
The cooperative where we have like the restore. So the professions go from BWL till graphic design, welding, carpentry, Kunsthandwerke, diverse
Handcrafts.
Handcrafts. And in the And in the process of projects or in the process of product development, we share or we cooperate with different handcraft people from various fields. So it can go from people, glass designers, till yeah, restaurateur for wood inlay. So yeah, diverse or caterpillar drivers. So professions, yeah, this is it's a very dynamic field, I would say, and therefore it's good to be safe and strong in your own um, kernel profession, so that you can go into a dynamic process with all the other professions.
Mhm.
That's
Yeah,
what I
I think this is totally, especially this picture is, I mean, obviously, as you say, the material has been there. It was designed for a different purpose in a different context.
okay.
And you obviously need the handcrafts people who can mount it, unmount it, but you need also the creative extra input to come up with a style-wise and design-wise appealing something. So it's not just trashy that you remount the same thing somewhere else. This wouldn't be, I think, so much the added value. But in your case, you have also this creative input, which emotionally upcycles the product, not maybe material-wise, but the appearance and also the use that you smooth out the design elements in a way that it's more practical, more beautiful, more precise in the new context and so on. And I think this is also a good example how inclusion can work, because we are very often in projects where we talk about inclusion, that we have this income levels, different ones, and the background of people and so on. And it's a very good demonstration how on which ways of you can, let's say the SDG goals, like on which ways, on which levels you get closer to those goals, on inclusion side, on social impact, on ecological economy wise. I have a question. Do you think this project or this project idea, Materialnomaden, is replicable also in other contexts, in other parts of Austria, in other countries? What is your observation?
Yeah, for us, it's as we are connected um, to architectural offices and companies in Switzerland, Holland, Belgium, Denmark, and Germany. Of course, the network or the framework of architecture in this field is not that dense as it could be. But on the other side, you have to say that it's quite a hard job here in Austria for us, or here in Vienna for us, to get to the point to implement it in all the regulations. So we are working together with the city of Vienna in various dimensions, where we started already processes to implement reuse already in the Widmungsverfahren. So Machbarkeitsstudien, where reuse is not only, yeah, we try to be sustainable. No, it's clearly for the bigger public Auftraggeber, customers, that reuse is part of the project. It should be, must be, has to be part of the project.
So
Also,
you are trying to have also an impact on the zoning planning of the city, on the assets of the city, but like the buildings which they own already, which they modernize, deconstruct, and maybe reconstruct. And because you mentioned it, do you think that the urban planning or the city has to be the forerunner for such projects? Because you didn't mention any private key players in Austria yet.
um, the public sector is on one hand very strong to push pioneers when it comes to the point that you are able to take part in a legalization process. Therefore, the public is a very, very important player and partner. When it comes to the point to build so-called Leuchtturmprojekte, then
Inspiring projects, lighthouse projects.
then it's probably the private sector where there is more emphasis on the design and more a stronger will to present it as their idea or as their product, let's say. So yes, both of them are very important, but for us as a company, we on our website we name some of the private investors or private companies that contract us or that we contract to. But I don't focus on this as for me, that webinar is part of process, and the focus is to bring closer that the turnaround of a design process, I would say. Yeah, the Wert von hinten aufzäumen. Like, yeah, we have the material. We don't only have a resource as a material somewhere laying in a mountain, and we take it out and then we somehow put it together again. No, we have already built things here. We have responsibility for that as engineers, as architects, as designers, and at the end as customer.
Yes, as citizens
and,
too.
And what does a customer or a user of this, not a simple user living in this city or in the cities or in urban areas, what is his responsibility? So this is the discussion, I think, and it's not about yes, there are some private investors or private customers that find it quite interesting to work with us. But at the end, as pioneers, it's always, yeah, it's a little bit tricky path. And as long as we don't as we cannot publish any project, we do not.
Yeah. Since we have in this Erasmus Plus project rather newcomers to the field of circular economy and eco design, would you have any recommendations how to start projects in this field, or do you advise to gain experience in a certain field or partnering up? What would you suggest trainees?
Yeah, I think one first step could be to take part. To take part in projects where you start from the beginning.
Mhm.
Everybody in here in our office that works with us, the first thing they do is going on site and making a catalog and taking out exemplarily material.
Mhm.
And then if this is like professionalized by our Mitarbeiter, then uh, we go one step further. We go into the design process, and
Mhm.
that's how it works the easiest way.
Mhm.
So you can also do it on your own. There is nobody will stop you. Only the time and the money to fail, and we failed a lot. We paid a lot. So if you have a lot of energy and lots of money on somewhere else, then yeah, go for it, try it. And it's not only us; it's in situ in Switzerland. It's Super Studios in Rotterdam. It's Refunk in Den Haag in Berlin. Um, we have the Lenaya Group, very professionalized architectural and engineer office in Dennen and in Copenhagen. Um, we have not Lenaya, yeah, various offices we are connected to, and that also send us people as volunteers or as no, not volunteers. We don't have volunteers. We have Praktikanten,
Interns.
interns, but paid internship. So so we exchange also people. Then somebody says, "Oh, as now we have Leon, our new member. Um, he came from Den Haag because Refunk said he fits totally to your product design you're doing. Please, do you have a job offer?" Or and then say, "Yeah, we do 1 month of intern." Then he learns a little, has kind of gains a little bit experience, and then now he's in the team. So this is what I would suggest. Try to find interns in companies that already work in that field. There is still a lot to invent, but there is already a lot of knowledge here.
Mhm.
So yeah, we are looking forward to the projects that are coming up, that are in the pipes, and we're also looking forward, of course, for interns and new input.
Mhm.
As from a technical university, we right now start a new semester with architectural students. There will also come some new inputs.
Mhm.
I guess. So yeah, that's what we are looking for, what we are looking forward to.
I think I have one more question, then I would let you speak out and finish your presentation. I encounter when I am in contact with clients or fund givers or municipalities, and in this project we have many countries from the Western Balkan region, where the context is different. There are no public fundings and so on. What do you think? How can one explain the added value of such a undertaking like Materialnomaden? How can you? I assume your service and your products would cost more than if you would go to Obi and get all the material from scratch. I don't know if it's true. How do you explain the added value to your clients, collaborators, or partners?
But yeah, this since more or less 1 year, it's quite easy. Um, either as a community, especially, either you want to be depending on import and export, or you work with the things you have
So,
locally.
so
If it's
you are saying that COVID-19 was good for you? Kind of, like for the local economy, I mean?
I think it will show up in the next 2, 3, 4 years. How, if there was really or is really an impact on it, yes, I would say. But as I can hear in our surroundings, there are more and more people coming to the point and to the decisions also that they focus more and more on local production and local products. And as I told before, the already built environment is our storage, where we store parts, not only material. That's another very important branch um, to harvest the materials and to put them into recycling process. Um, but it's here, so it's locally, and people are jobless. So I think if you want to create jobs and not being too much depending on external resources, then it might be a good idea to step into circular economy and to look what do we have here. It's not about excluding wares and work um, force from external. No way, no. It's about what can I use here. So the knowledge and information can go globally, is easy to go globally. It doesn't cost too much material or CO2, but yeah, acting locally is probably more efficient in many dimensions.
Beautiful. Thank you. So would you like to explain us your process?
Yeah, probably we already talked about it.
Yeah.
I can show you only the pictures. We have.
I think they are very inspirational. I would like to, if you could explain the stories behind those items.
This is an exhibition from a workshop on the Technical University Vienna in 2019, I think, 18, where we had many. Yeah, can you see it now more in Zoom?
Yeah.
Okay. Many students, and we were in a building where we took out different parts, and one for me as an engineer, my kernel yeah.
Say it in German.
Meine,
Your profession?
Yes, thank you. My profession itself is static.
Cool.
And there we built out of doors from cupboards. We built biegesteife Rahmenecke. So
frames.
Really frames that could be used for roof suspension. Mm-hmm. So very smart. Kind of not an upcycling, but putting this mobiliar into a higher grade of being part of the constructional layer from a building. Very beautiful. Here is a facade made out of some aluminum parts. This was the exhibition from also here they already used this what I told before. We made the door out of this aluminum radiator coverage they made facade, like shadowed facade elements. This one is probably no one knows the word in English, Strickliesel. You know what a Strickliesel is?
It looks like a net, but I have no idea.
Yeah, it's a tool to knit very easily some like tubes. You can knit tubes, small tubes. And these students, they built a Strickliesel, but that's big. And they were knitting nets out of telephone cables from a building. Very
Wonderful.
beautiful. Was very funny as well because the telephone cables, they have hardly any copper in it. It's mainly some plastic and would go into a usual recycling process, melted in, and but they could at the end build a structure to, in that case, to relax in kind of a hammock. Here, these are tubes for air conditioning used in a very this window company, the window building company. All these tubes are when you go into such big buildings, you have a lot of these kind of tubes, but they will never be reused as tubes because they are polluted. They are you cannot. It's technically nonsense to use them again. So we started to find out what else could we make out of it. In that case, they made kind of structural thing where you can build a platform on it, whatever. So a tube can also be a column, can also be part of a facade, or you cut it up in pieces and it can be a ceiling coverage. So in that dimension. Yeah, this is only some workshops, not very many stories. I would say many stories. And also here doing workshops with scientists. That was a symposium from European scientists on resources and on teaching. Like they were about to set up teaching materials for circular economy. Catch E was the program called, led by IBO, Institut Bau und Ökologie in Vienna. Yes, and this is some Friday challenge. We were honored to try out the hammock stand from this guy. He invented this, and he came to us to define these knots where the ropes are like hung in. His contract now for us was that we invent some knots out of reuse parts. Yeah, this is part of our team. It's not all of us. Part of our team here at Kellyhalem Kempelen Park. You're welcome to write us, to follow us on Facebook and Twitter, like Materialnomaden or Harvest Map. You can find us. I hope you enjoyed the presentation and that there are many open questions. A lot of inspiration for the future.
Peter, thank you very much. I enjoyed this webinar a lot. Thank you for all the examples, and I think they are very inspiring. And I hope also for our trainees in this Erasmus project, but also for other projects. I will be very happy to publish your initiative on our website, also in our publication. So we will be trying to support you to present you as one of the leading experts in Austria who are open, I believe, to consultancy, but also collaboration or internship perhaps. I think we need more of those lighthouses, Materialnomaden lighthouses in Europe and in the world to achieve what we want to achieve by 2050 or earlier. So I am very, very happy that you joined us today. And as Peter said, if you have questions, feel free to contact him directly or Hannah. We will be in touch, and hopefully we will have an occasion for a Friday's challenge on site when this COVID-19 is over with in a different context. I would love to keep you in my back head and try to initiate projects together. Thank you
Looking
for
forward.
coming.
Thank you for the invitation and for the possibility to present our work field.
Anytime, if you feel like you have a beautiful project and you something you want to share with us, you have always the doors open. Just let us know. We will try to be your door or window to our members throughout Europe. Thank you. Have a nice day, everyone, and see you next time.